If your journaling feels forced, you're already doing it wrong. Journaling isn't supposed to feel like work. It's not supposed to feel like homework. It's not supposed to be a rigid thing. And it's definitely not supposed to like sound good. Um, it's not supposed to be like a dear journal. Today I felt like no. I used to I used to sit down to write and I would stare at the page and I would sit there and I would be forcing myself to make a journal entry and I would end up just not even doing it sometimes or it would just feel completely forced if I did. That's why a lot of people quit journaling, not because it doesn't work, but because it feels forced or they feel like they're not doing it right, which was a problem I had. The purpose of journaling, in my opinion, is not to make something sound good or to write something so profound. Um, you're not trying to win a Pulitzer Prize, but the point is basically to clear your mind. Um, Almost use it like a filter, a mental filter. And once you start to use it this way, it starts to help you out a lot more than you expect it to. So basically, I started treating journaling like a filter of my thoughts. And I just wrote whatever I felt necessary at the time. If I was compelled to write it, I didn't force it, I didn't make it a daily thing necessarily. I didn't pick a time and stick to it, I didn't schedule any journaling time. I just always kept a journal with me at all times. So basically, I started using journaling as like a filter, not a diary, not I'm not writing a story. And I'll give you some examples. Hold on. These are basically these are basically the two I take to work. Um, this little pocket one, I got little, you know, just random stuff, lots of random stuff, work notes, lists, Bible verses, just a couple of things in there, nothing too crazy. And this one is just something I use to filter a little more personal things, um, keep the work related things in here. So I don't know what you would call these, like commonplace books or something like that. That's dumb. This is one of my older ones. But if you look at it, I mean, there's there's a lot of skipped pages, a lot of folded, bookmarked pages. And I've tried so many different ways to journal, and I just realized that this random journaling is what's worked for me. I mean, I got budgets in here. I mean, all kinds of stuff, bullet points, phone numbers, just a whole bunch of stuff. Now, this one I tried to do more structured. It's nice. I got it at Walmart. But yeah, this one didn't turn out too good. It was almost too structured for my liking. Yeah, this one didn't turn out too good. This one was like the one I was trying to structure the most, and ended up being very empty. This is my to-do plus thoughts plus everything else journal. And it's kind of like every other journal that I have that's just random. There's no set thing for it. And what I've basically learned is that it's just it's basically just my filter for everything. So basically, step one is to just get a journal. Start off with something like this and just write whatever comes to your mind. Everything, anything. I don't mean like sit down for 5 minutes and go, okay, I'm just gonna brain dump. You could do that. That's a completely different uh, method to do things. I've done that for other writing exercises, not necessary for this, in my opinion. You just sit down. If you have some thought come to you, something you want to remember, even write it down. It's really simple. Uh, Whenever I have to remember something, I feel that writing it down on with a pen and paper is just 100 times more. I don't know. It's like I'm encoding it more into my brain and I'm remembering it a lot easier. And this is somebody that suffers from ADHD. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Everyone suffers. Yeah. I know what people are gonna say. Oh, yeah, you and me both, bud, or everyone. Yeah. Oh, okay. Whatever. Anyways, cut that out. This is coming from someone that suffers from ADHD, medicated for it. This helps me a lot before I got medicated. Write your shit down. If you write your things you want to remember down, it's going to work all the same. But basically, just write everything down. Don't try to organize in the beginning. Don't try to organize. I don't organize. I've been doing this method for, man, like 10 years, I would say. And it wasn't on purpose. It was completely on accident. I tried to structure everything, but it just never worked. I ended up just being random journals every time. Just think about it like a browser with a bunch of tabs open. And this is your way of closing all those tabs. Once you write it down, you're basically offloading that, your mental bandwidth, so to speak. You put it on paper. Now you don't have to remember that certain thing, or you don't have to carry those thoughts as much, right? And then once you get to that point where you're writing all these things down, then you can go back later and filter through it, find what matters, find the things that you found important. So I say all that to say your journaling is not supposed to feel perfect. Like I said earlier, it's not supposed to be some Pulitzer Prize winning writing that you're doing. Man, just write, dude. If it feels forced, you're literally trying to control it too much. Just stop. Just let it be. It'll be fine, I promise. So, next time you try to journal, next time you sit down to journal, just start writing. Just start writing. Don't try to force anything. Don't try to write some amazing sentence. Don't try to use perfect grammar. Just start writing. Pretty fucking simple. If this helped you out, just give me a like, a subscribe. I'm going to be dropping a lot more things like this. And yeah, hope you enjoy.